Anne-Marie woke with a start, sweat dripping down her face. The house creaked and groaned, and a cold draft brushed against her bare skin. She glanced at the clock, 3:17 a.m. Another sleepless night. A shadow moved across the wall, and Anne-Marie's heart pounded in her chest. She slowly turned her head, her eyes adjusting to the darkness. There, in the corner of the room, stood a tall, gaunt figure, its eyes glowing like embers. The figure took a step towards her, and Anne-Marie screamed. She tried to run, but her legs felt like lead. The figure reached out and grabbed her arm, its cold touch sending shivers down her spine. Anne-Marie struggled, but it was no use. The figure was too strong. It pulled her closer, and she could feel its breath on her neck. Just as Anne-Marie was about to lose consciousness, she heard a voice. "Anne-Marie, wake up." She opened her eyes to see her husband standing over her, his face etched with worry. "It was just a nightmare," he said, pulling her into his embrace. Anne-Marie clung to him, her heart still racing. "It felt so real," she whispered. Her husband nodded. "I know, but it's just a dream. It's not real." Anne-Marie closed her eyes, hoping that he was right. But she knew in her heart that the nightmare was real. It was a warning that something evil was lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike. The nightmares continued, growing more vivid and terrifying each night. Anne-Marie would wake up drenched in sweat, her heart pounding in her chest. The figure from her dreams, the one with the glowing eyes, haunted her waking hours as well. She'd catch glimpses of it in the shadows, a fleeting image that sent shivers down her spine. One night, the nightmare took a sinister turn. The figure, no longer a shadowy apparition, stood at the foot of her bed, its form solid and menacing. It reached out a skeletal hand, its long, gnarled fingers inches from her face. With a blood-curdling scream, Anne-Marie bolted upright, her heart pounding furiously. She looked around the room, but the figure was gone. Relief washed over her, but it was short-lived. A cold dread settled in her stomach as she realized that something was terribly wrong. The next day, strange occurrences began to plague her home. Doors creaked open on their own, objects moved from one room to another, and eerie whispers echoed through the halls. Anne-Marie could feel a malevolent presence lurking in the shadows, watching her every move. Fear gnawed at her, but she refused to be cowed. She was determined to uncover the truth behind the haunting. With the help of an old, grizzled occult expert, she began to delve into the dark history of her home. As she delved deeper, she discovered a chilling secret. Her house was built on an ancient burial ground, a place where dark forces had been unleashed centuries ago. The figure from her dreams was a malevolent entity, a creature of darkness that had been awakened from its slumber. Now, she must face her fears and fight for her life, or risk becoming a victim of the darkness.